Clockwork, one of the best offlane heroes at finding his experience. He cog back the wave and keep pulling it back, but this is when it gets kind of tough. It's gonna be hard for him to really move out in lane, and GH is actually going for a snipe on the courier. He's smoked up with boots. Can he actually get this?
One more, man. He's chasing it. Yes, he does. He gets it down. GH with the smoke and the boots. The move speed was just barely enough.
Alright, so he caught the courier by only having 5 moves.
That's fair.
And if he like pulled out a Monkey King ranged auto attack for that last one too.
Yep. Demon has that one freeze. He's trying to cut his way out of cogs. This time the Sunstrike will come in, and the combination with the fissure is more than enough. Mind Control snaps up the first blood, so a little bit more money going his way. Some good takes a flare, but it's not enough to kill him. Abed's still alive, and well, these 3 supports wasting a little bit of time as well. Mason finally leaving bottom lane, scooting in, going on to Kuroki, who they know still does not have an ultimate. There's going to be that fissure to block out Mason, but Kuroki's still taking a ton of damage. Jugo goes in a little bit too far, all alone, will be killed off, and now Mason just going to try to find his way out of this fight, but he might actually get caught here. They've got fissure up in 1 more second. He will scooch his way across the river, as the rest of DC is going to be regrouping mid. So Liquid getting everyone together in this mid lane. Abed's still pushing top. Still should be enough to find potentially a kill here. The fissure comes in. Sunstrike onto Abed, just barely not enough.
Close.
This guy has got a guardian angel looking after him. He keeps living with just a sliver of health.
No way to really get reinforced there. Just wasted efforts there. But it looks like down this time.
Another meatball clip straight onto Abed. Demon, okay, all right. Taking a little bit too far there. Now, there is going to be another fissure clipping onto Abed here as Dragon Form wearing thin. They drop out the first Chaotic Offering, but Mason runs right away. This tower left at 25 HP. An easy deny if they can find it. Mason, Sunstrike going to be off the mark. He makes it up to the trees. We'll be able to escape death for now, but this tower's not looking too healthy.
This tower is not long for this world, and Liquid are making their way down.
Yeah, Abed coming forward. The Boundless Strike does clip onto the Razor, but a fissure and now some damage to deal. Abed has to try to run, but yeah, again, with that static link being the range that it is, it makes it very difficult. So yeah, Razor now with an extra 141 damage from that static link. That is so tricky to deal with. Demon caught out here. There is going to be a Dragon Form from Abed trying to protect his teammates, but Jimmy's already done. And Abed is going to get stunned by the fissure, dragged onto by the hook shot, stuck in the cogs and killed off. It's just going to be Mason versus the world, but he can't quite do enough damage with the follow-up from the Boundless Strike. They will be able to find 3. All right, they're turning this right around. Mind Control is going to be TPing out. They don't have any stuns for that, but a bloody engage will still go the way of DC.
Because DC are a team that need to group up, so once they can get these kills on these heroes behind like that, it makes it really difficult for DC to do anything afterwards. They need to get these lanes back. Kuroki's getting quite fast.
No, I think Mason's the one in trouble. There's going to be Weaver just slapped down. No chance to time-lapse. Warlock, I mean, he may go down here. Kuroki gets hit by the Boundless Strike. Is going to get burned by Abed, but his Golem's still up. Wukong's command comes out after there is no one left in the circle, so Zuzu not going to get a whole lot of use out of that. Mind Control now on the run. Fissure holds back too. Very nice play there from GH. Now he's just going to be escaping. Mind Control using the cogs to break up the fight. Will he make it back across the river? He sure will as Bulba runs in and does get that mana burn going. DC just going to all smoke up, and they've got their lines drawn in the sand. They want to just charge in towards this tier 2, and if they can find a kill him a Tubba-Man, that would be super ideal right now. This Razor getting a lot of space, jumping around, and he's going to be almost bringing down. This Razor is looking mighty dead. He's got a bunch of heroes behind him, but Invoker can just solo down a Crystal Maiden with 1 Sunstrike. There were no other forces of damage on her. It was just the Sunstrike that kills her.
Fighting into. They get out with a pretty big win.
Doing pings here as Jubu's just keeping eyes on Miracle. I mean, Miracle's getting really out of control. He had such an early ads and Blink picked up very shortly, unless he gets killed here, but oh, he Ghost Walks, will be dusted, so he's just going to bail out on the Ghost Walk. Sunstrike comes in. Wow, okay, Miracle. You could just take out a full health Monkey King, that's fine. He's going to be still running for his life. Does pop out the Ice Wall, and Abed going to be slowed down. Nice EMP, gonna be burning up all the mana in the vicinity, but Miracle does still go down. He forces out mass rotations in from DC, so at least buying his team time as they're able to take the bottom tower. That's some space created right there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Makes it out with the kill there, and now all of a sudden, like,
Abed comes in immediately, just gonna get all his health drained. And, yep, forced into that borrowed time. His ult's gonna be down. He does no damage. And wow, okay, hookshot in as Abed thinks he can take on the entire team. But I don't know about that, buddy. It's not looking so easy. That's gonna be a 2-for-0 as Dubu pops out a pretty late Wukong's command, and he's just trying to stay in the circle. But GH manning up on him. Dubu somehow lives through it. Razor gonna be going down, and Dubu's still alive. Crystal Maiden gonna be ulting. Dubu, my God. Somehow able to live through this with the mischief. Oh my goodness, Monkey King. Sunstrike not going to be on the mark there. That would have been a great way to end things out, but Miracle's getting pretty crazy out of control. 13,000 net worth for himself. Compare that to Weaver, who spent most of the game free farming. Not even quite at that point, although Weaver is going to be pretty hard to lock down. They are going to be able to get off that time lapse and just walk away. So failed gank coming out. I'm going to take some bugs. Tornado coming back in, but they can't turn this. They go for the fissure, but it's going to be a quick TP out. Monkey King comes forward. They actually cancel the TP with the boundless strike, and Mason finds himself a kill. Well played.
Radiant's completed now on her bed.
Posturing up to go into Roche is well, just going to pop some smokes and he's going to go ahead and take a static link. They're holding in place that fissure, but the rest of the team are moving forward. Matumba Man, even with a zillion extra damage, getting very, very low, has to get forced to freedom. Mason showing off that new BKB, wants to move forward and find the kill, and Kuroki needs one more hit. Doesn't get that generous attack that he needed to get the kill, and now looks like Mason's in trouble here. Does go down. That bug just crawls a little bit too far forward. Golem spent, and they're going to be able to push this lane a fair amount. It looks like Liquid were thinking about Roche, but now after killing off the Weaver, they just want to go straight forward for tier 2s, but Dubu gets off a really nice Wukong's command, followed up with that boundless strike, and now Miracle's in some trouble. The monkeys, can they finish him off? They do! The Invoker goes down. That's a pretty big bounty going the way of Dubu, who almost gets finished off by the flare. Oh man, Matumba Man is just a little bit too low to finish him off. Dubu's still taking damage from the fatal bonds. It looks like Crystal Maiden finally comes in and helps Abed find a kill onto GH. Kuroki eventually gets credit for the kill onto Dubu as he dies from fatal bonds. Matumba Man continues to walk away, but McCann going forward, melting his armor, but DC, they don't want to let this go for free. How quickly can they really get in the area? They scan it out, they know this is a multi-hero effort. Now, oh god, they get the hook shot onto Dubu, he's going to be leaping away. Now Clockwork stuck in here, trapped in the little neutral pit. Earthshaker going to be focused down. Mason able to snap up that kill and piecing away the other two cores. Mind Control on the cliff, Demon's going to be dancing. And will get the kill onto the Clockwork. Deafening Blast comes in and holds back the Dragon Knight. Crystal Maiden does have to trade her life for that. DC still really intent on taking this race on. Meatball coming into the pit, and this could do a serious number to the rest of DC's cores. And Wukong's command comes in just to zone as they just really want this Roshan. Finally, they find it. Mason picks up the Aegis, and they're going to keep pressing forward, even to the Ice Wall, to go get the kill on Kuroki.
Alright, successful fight for DC. They claim the Aegis and some kills.
Really nice.
Thank you, I was reading that off the notes.
Anyway, DC grouping up for a push down bottom. This tier 1 tower is going to get fortified, but finally will go down. Invoker's actually TPing in for this. Looks like he's going to blink immediately away. Tornado comes in. They do clip Invoker with that boundless strike. They hit this on him before he goes invis, but GH wants to turn this right back around. A Deafening Blast comes in on top of the Echo Slam. Wukong now forced to turn his tail and run, as Invoker will get killed off along with GH. Clockwork's TPing in, and Matumba Man goes straight forward, trying to suck down Abed's damage, but Matumba Man going to get chased by Mason. 3 heroes dead, trading only for a Crystal Maiden. This is huge for DC. Mind Control forcing himself into his own cogs, pick-shotting himself to freedom on top of Mason. But, I mean, even if Mind Control gets out, that is still a huge win for DC. You could tell Liquid had the confidence in that fight to go in and try to execute, but I just got outdone, and now Mason finally forced to retreat. Can't kill off that pesky Clockwork, but they're going to start tapping on tier 3s here.
Defense is still insanely good.
Yep, just going in and getting those little picks is going to be super huge. Smoke in. Abed, I mean, he pings something out. He knows that something's a little bit afoot. Miracle is right on their heels. Bulba, meanwhile, just going to be taking a ton of damage forced into using his borrowed time, just trying to get the most out of it by miscoiling his teammates. Hookshot comes in, Jimmy trapped in the cogs along with Abed. He has his dragon form available. We're gonna have a little pause there.
Not again.
As it did really seem like they were asleep at the wheel. These two heroes get hookshot into the cogs. Well, anyway, we are underway in a fight here. Razor gonna be TPing into a super low health creep. What on earth was that? As DC are turning this around, they get off the Wukong's command. There will be a Sunstrike to finish off Demon Miracle. Now on the run, a Dust is gonna miss. DC somehow get together, turn this fight into a pretty okay thing for themselves. They go. That's fair. Anyway, back into it. We have got lines drawn in the sand. It seems like DC, they want to go in and pressure this top lane. Again, they already took out a successful lane of Rax here. Got 2 6 in the bottom. Samba going to show himself in the mid lane, going on to Abed. They get the static link off, but Abed should be able to force himself back. It's going to be 3 heroes cuddled up underneath the Warlock ult. Volva is trying to sit there and tank it for the team. He's got his Blade Mail rocking, but I don't know if it's going to be enough here. Crystal Maiden, of course, already dead. And now Bubble trapped without his ult. It's looking dangerous, but Matumba does have to back off. This is going to be GH and the Golems finishing off the job. Miracle snaps up the kill for that. Mason goes in and finds a sneaky kill on GH on the back lines, but now Mason forced to go and solo up against Invoker. They're just going to cut ties.
Looking for something.
Probably just going to be poking their heads into the Roche pit. Still another minute till it spawns. They'll be at least in a good position to go for it. It looks like they want to go for some kills as well. Abed charging in onto Volva. Volva's going to shield, but still a lot of damage being stolen. They pull Volva in place. When the Matumba goes to work, look at this, it's breaking up. Over 200 going his way. Now Volva going to be popping into that ult. They got a really nice Wukong's command going down. Kuroki channeling up a really solid upheaval as Abed sits in the Wukong's command. They will be able to get 4 heroes down. Kuroki, one of the lone survivors, just using his golem to try to kill Volva, but it's not going to be successful. They trade Crystal Maiden for 5 heroes. Liquid are down now for a minute. Invoker dead for over 80 seconds with no buyback. DC, they just pick up that momentum even after a very quirky disconnect and pause and a fight that looked like it could be lost. They get themselves together. Mind control now trapped in the trees. Abed defending on the cogs. There will be one big last pull from the Matumba man who moves forward, raining down a lot of damage out of Juju. He's still waiting for those 12 seconds. That Wukong's command is going to be huge. You know, Clockwork locked in under Demon's ult. Demon's still alive through this. It feels weird with Crystal Maiden not dead, but you know, that'll take care of itself. Yeah. Going to be going down eventually. Mason still trying to fight with the last bit of his life. Abed moving forward here. He's tanky. Tumba Man going to get stunned up by the Dragon Tail. They're burning him down. They will get the Razor. Immediate buyback onto him, but it looks like they're trying for Megas. It's going to be tricky there. Mass TP's come forward. Abed may have overstayed his welcome here. Does end up going down as we've got just a splash of spells coming out of Liquid. So high ground, and now all their heroes are up. This is going to be a very different push than we saw just a couple of minutes ago, and they're smoked up. They want to get aggressive. They want to take the initiation here. They're leaving their base. It seems like DC are going to get surprised by that. They start things off with a really nice Echo Slam. Golem's going to be dropped out on top of that. They kill off the Monkey King, and now Abed getting all his damage drained, trying to man-fight Miracle, but it's not working out. Abed going to be going down, and Volva popping on his borrowed time. Meanwhile, Kuroki will get focused down by Mason. It's on Mason to turn this fight around and get out of here as Volva probably going to be finished off here. Mason's going to BKB, getting in there, going deep, trying to get down Matumba Man. A couple more hits will be done, and they will be able to get him with the mist coil from Abaddon. With Bulba's last breath, he takes out Matumba Man. And now Mason goes in, shows off that new Bloodthorn, goes in onto the Clockwork, but will be able to finish him off instead. Goes for the retreat. The Deafening Blast clips the Weaver. Can they finish him off here? He's going to be able to go time-lapse himself to freedom, and Mason should be able to TP back, has it in his backpack, so really difficult. Liquid trying to anticipate which lane's going to get pushed in, and it looks like Demon thinking about going in, jumping on Kuroki, and that's going to be the jump they need. They go in, quick Dragon Tail, and my god, that Warlock is just punched to bits. Matumba Man goes in, we'll be able to get the static link off onto Abed. Abed getting a lot of damage stolen. Man, Matumba Man is not messing around, just popped everything for that. I had a Storm on cooldown. Matumba Man's stolen damage is still going to be doing a lot of work here. Crystal Maiden caught in the cause. She's going to be dancing with her last breath, but will end up going down. But now we got BKBs coming out of DC. They're going forward. They get the kill on the Warlock. Now another dieback coming in, and well, they go forward. Looks like TH will end up dropping the gem on the deck. There is a disarm on this Dragon Knight, and that might just be what it takes for Miracle to get him down. But Volva still chasing him out. The Sunstrike going to be off the mark. Meanwhile, top lane, Monkey King keeping his eyes on the prize, going in for those Megas. Got Miracle now running back in with that Ghost Walk, but Abed wasting no time going into G8. That is a dieback on the Earthshaker. Matamba Man gets killed right in the footsteps of his base. It's Mega Creeps now, and Liquid, they're buying back on the Razor. They're giving it all they've got, but this is definitely their last-ditch effort. Weaver crawling around into the base. It's a godlike streak for Mason, and it's looking good for Team DC. Going in, Razor, he's stealing up the damage, but he will end up going down. Invoker buys back in. Mind Control trying to bait everyone out of the base, but with Mega Creeps, it's so difficult. DC, they've still got all but the Monkey King alive. Eventually, they get down the Clockwork, the Gem falls as well. Buyback comes in from the Clockwork. Tornado clips onto the Dragon Knight. They will be able to combo him down with a Sunstrike, but yeah, Mind Control still just trying to zone. The Ancient now exposed. This is Liquid letting things drag on altogether a little bit too long, as that's a rampage for Mason. GG finally comes out 53 minutes into the game after a hefty pause and some serious back and forth action. The Deep will take game 1 of their series versus Liquid.